Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And this is Mike's After Action Reviews, and today we are doing the After Action Review for Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead was directed by Zack Snyder and written by Zack Snyder, Shay Hatton, and Joby Harlod. Shay Hatton is known basically only for John Wick 3 on his IMDb page, and Joby Harlod is known for Edge of Tomorrow and John Wick 3. Now, Edge of Tomorrow had some awesome writing. John Wick 3 was pretty good from both of those two.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it was as good as the first two John Wick movies, but they've done pretty good for themselves so far. So
I can agree.
yeah, and everybody knows Zack Snyder. You know, the Justice League movies are the most. The Snyder Cut just came out. I haven't watched it yet, but I've got to. But
I did watch it. It's very good.
okay, yeah. So but everybody knows him, so he needs no introduction. So we're gonna start off today talking about this movie, breaking it down into our 4 categories. We've got acting, characters, plot, and miscellaneous. So go ahead, Sam. Take it away. Tell us what you thought of the acting.
Yeah. So the acting, I thought acting was done very well. The main character of the story is Dave Bautista. He's an up-and-coming, I wouldn't say up-and-coming actor. He's known for Man of the Iron Fist and Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And so I loved his character in the movie, as well as the supporting actors behind him. And I love how in this movie, they all had their own little portion of the movie and kind of how it all connected and tied into one of those big stories. And that's what I love about these kind of action stories.
Yeah, actually, I will say, to kind of piggyback off of that, it is interesting because Dave Bautista is his acting and everything. He is the leader, but you can tell he is. I actually, as I was watching this with my wife, my stepdad. I think you've met my stepdad actually, but he's my wife was like, man, he looks even just like your stepdad because my stepdad is a bigger guy and everything. It's just like, and he even said things that were just like, man, it's just like a normal. He kind of played the part of the normal guy doing his stuff, you know? And then there's so even though Dave Bautista is like this big muscular dude, and then there was the other character, who is, I have his name, Vandero. He's not as big and physically as much as Dave Bautista, but he plays the tough guy while Dave Bautista plays the normal guy. So as far as you're saying, like, everybody has their own role, I really do agree with that, and you can really see that. Like this actually did kind of. I totally thought that it was going to be like Dave Bautista, big muscly guy, and he's going to be the big tough guy standing next to some other big tough guys. And no, they all have their own uniqueness here. So.
Exactly. That's one thing I liked about this movie a lot was the fact that they all, everyone had their own little spot.
Yeah.
And the pilot, probably one of my favorite ones too. She was hilarious.
Yeah, the pilot was funny. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so we'll move on then to characters. So as you mentioned, the main protagonist is Scott Ward. We have Kate Ward. We have the Vandero, Maria Cruz. I'm just naming off their names. That's the kind of the love interest. You have Dieter. He's a safecracker. You have Lily. That is the blonde chick, the coyote. She's the one getting people in and out behind the wall. You got Martin. He's kind of like the corporate suit guy. And then you have Bly Tanaka, who was also in our After Action review for Mortal Kombat, Hiroyuki Sanada. So what did you think of the characters?
Like I said before, with the acting, I love the characters.
Like individually though, like each character individually. Do you have any thoughts on them?
Yeah, individually, I loved how they threw there's always this one, like, especially in these kind of zombie movies, there's always this one guy, the rich guy, who has a plan to get something that he lost, even though he's paid for it or started to pay for whatever. And he always gets these merchants to go do his dirty work. There's always that one. I love really, they put their own little twist on it. We put Dave Bautista's character as a loving father who's trying to protect his daughter. He doesn't want consent of any mission he gets, and he's going to put his daughter, who of course his daughter is headstrong, doesn't really forgive him about what he's done in the past, and that goes into the movie. The pilot was the cigar smoking chick is hilarious. They had the company who lives up to her name. She sneaks people in and out. They got the typical strong guy who's got a big gun and even bigger saw, which is a love.
The saw is awesome.
Yeah, the safecracker zone, and then the safecracker guy. I loved him. He kind of tried bringing some awkward funniness into it.
Yep.
Which is I like those that kind of stuff in the movies. Awkward funny, because I still laugh. And he's just trying to, I'm very like orgasmic thing of this incredible safe that they're trying to crack into.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And,
Yeah, he's very obsessed with the safe.
Yeah, very much so. And of course, the big wig that is paying for all this operation also has his inner spy, which is another typical thing in these kind of movies. I mean, in action movies, sure, not really in a zombie movie. So they kind of mashed a whole bunch of different characters from different kind of genres movies in this one movie, and I love it. It's kind of like a safe cracking zombie killer movie with kind of a little bit of loving touch to it with the father-daughter relationship.
Yeah, so well, it's.
I thought every character was really well played out and well rounded altogether, and so yeah, that's the part of characters that I love.
So I will say that as a whole, I think that you are correct. I think that as a whole, it all rounds out pretty well. But, well, for one thing, well, actually, I'll mention it at the end, but the thing I was going to tell you, but I'll mention it. It kind of goes into some other, not spoiler stuff, but some other stuff. But there are some things that I'll mention specifically about each character, and then there is a couple of characters that I was like, eh. Well, one character in particular who I didn't like. So Scott Ward. So in the beginning, you see immediately he had to kill his wife. So you see his character. Now this is played by Dave Bautista. He had to kill his zombie wife, and that is something that happens quite often in these zombie movies. Somebody gets bitten, and there's an emotional attachment. So he had to kill it.
I just want to add one thing on that note. I loved how in every other zombie movie you ever see, someone's always either hiding it or someone they love is like, or in these partner people, they're like, they see it and like, don't say anything. In this movie, they kind of see it and like, well, you gotta go.
Yeah, they just.
I love that.
So yeah, no, exactly. So he kills his wife, and you see it in the intro to the movie. So it's not really a spoiler or anything, but basically, Scott Ward is a zombie war hero. Basically, kind of getting into the plot here, but it's in the trailers. This part is in the trailers. There's a zombie outbreak. It's in Las Vegas. This particular guy, Scott Ward, it doesn't give any of his background, what he did before, but he was a war hero, like this, when I say war hero, I mean the zombie war, this outbreak, saving people. He actually ends up saving even some higher up ranking military people, and we'll talk about that when we get to the plot section. But, so he's like this kind of strong, like leadership type character who's kind of broken because he had to kill his wife and he's estranged from his daughter. Then we had Vander O, who is and he's played by Omari Hardwick, and I really I like the acting, and the character does really well. But he's the Saw guy. He's the guy you were talking about with Saw, and he was with Dave Bautista during all of that time, the zombie war. He was fighting alongside of him. And then you have Maria Cruz, who is played by Ana de la Reguera. Reguera. Sorry if I mess up the names. I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, so, and I'll put a picture up here, over here, so you'll see a picture of her over there. But anyway, so she kind of plays a kind of a generic love interest. You actually don't see much of the character, but as far as impactful things going on with her, except that she kind of serves. Oh, my phone is going off all weird. Except that she kind of serves as a love interest. Then you, like you said, Dieter. He's like this weird German guy. He offers some comedy, and he's the safecracker. Then you have the Lily, who is this coyote, and she's kind of this sleazy person that is taking advantage of some people and bringing them in and out of Las Vegas after it's been quarantined. And she's played by Nora Arnezeder. Yeah. But then, like you were saying, so you have this corporate guy whose name is Martin, and he's that typical sleazy higher up guy, like corporate type person. And there's the kind of this question of like, is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? Is he hiding something? What's going on? They all start to kind of ask like, hey, we've been sent on this job to do this thing by this rich casino owner, and he also sent this dude. So what's up with him? And you kind of have to figure it out. And then Bly Tanaka, he's the guy that we were talking about, who is the casino owner who sends him on the whole job. But then there's the one character I want to talk about who I didn't mention yet, who I really actually think probably hindered the movie. Didn't make the movie terrible or anything, but Kate Ward, Dave Bautista's daughter, is one of the stupidest characters, especially in a zombie movie I've ever seen.
I can tell when you say that, and I call her Headstrong.
Call her head. Well, here's the thing. She works at this quarantine camp, and this isn't getting into really spoilers. This is just kind of to get you one of the side things that goes on. She works at this quarantine camp, and some stuff happens. They have to go into Las Vegas. Okay. Someone gets... How do I say this? Someone that she personally is attached to has gone missing, and she specifically agrees, hey, I'm not going to... Like, if we find him, we'll save him. If we don't find him, I'm not going to go running off to him. And she even says, her dad says to her, if you try to go find this person and we run off, and you run off, everyone here is going to die. And so what happens? See, that's why I'm saying it's not a spoiler. It's telegraphed right away. She runs off, and I'll tell you what. She doesn't save the people. I mean, this is a minor spoiler. She does not save the people that she goes... Like, it was all... It turns out to all be for nothing. And in hindsight, by the end of the movie, you're going to look back and go, man, by doing some of the things that she did, she very stupidly screwed over everybody else in this movie pretty badly. Through the blue. Yeah. I mean, I really felt that way. I think that her character was... And by the way, if you guys at home watching this don't realize this, Sam and I have not talked about the movie at all up to this. We're first hearing it. This is the first time we're hearing each other's opinions. So, but yeah.
Find kind of our thing. That's what we do.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so we'll go into the plot. I'll just kind of a real quick summary of the plot with no spoilers, and then we'll kind of talk about it. And then if you have anything to say, Sam, you can kind of catch me up and just be like, hey, this is what I think. Okay. So basically, in the trailers you've seen, it's Las Vegas. There's a zombie outbreak. Dave Bautista. Okay. Some stuff that you're not going to know immediately from the trailer, but that you might want to know, and it's not spoilers going into this movie. First of all, this is a story after a story. So the zombie outbreak has already taken place a couple years, days, months, whatever. It doesn't really exactly say. Maybe a couple of months before the movie starts. It shows you that in the form of the opening credits being a montage of Dave Bautista and his group. of people.
Which is kind of what Zack Snyder's known for. A lot of his movies, 300 and all that, always have some kind of on.
Actually, yeah, I was about to say, no, as you're saying that, yeah, like even, I remember Batman versus Superman, there's that opening montage that explains everything that we're going into with the movie, you know?
Yeah, it's beautiful. In my opinion, it's its own form of beautiful.
Oh, yeah, no, it was done well. I liked it. I liked this. So it kind of shows you this montage of like them saving all these people and doing things, and then that's where you even see the part where somebody got bit, so they shoot him in the face. Okay, so basically because of the zombie outbreak, Las Vegas is walled off using shipping containers. Like you see, they're called connexes, but for people back home, just think like the big metal shipping boxes that you see on large, trains or ships. Actually, when they go by boat. But anyway, so it's walled off. Basically, what ends up happening is very interesting, and this is what got me hooked into wanting to watch this movie, is that what happens when Las Vegas is walled off? Like, I'm asking you, the viewer, think about it for about 5 seconds here. What happens? What is the one thing you think of when you think that Las Vegas is now abandoned of living people, and and all the only people that are there are mindless zombies? What about the money? So, basically what happens is there's $200 million in a vault that is owned by this rich character, Tanaka. And he goes and finds Scott Ward and says, hey, there's $200 million in this vault, and the insurance company has already paid me. But if you go down there and get that $200 million, you can keep $50 million of it for yourself and whoever you bring with you to do this thing. You've got 32 hours. Go. That's basically the whole thing in the movie. Some other things that are also kind of in the trailer, but I'm just going to spill out explicitly for you so you can confirm them for you, is that zombies think, and this is another thing that made me like this movie and want to go see it, is that you see how zombies have this social structure among themselves. They don't really speak to each other, but they do have like a social structure. In this movie, there is a bit of a mystery, and we're not going to reveal that mystery to you, but you're going to catch on quite quickly that there is kind of a mystery thing going on, so that's nice. Kind of goes above and beyond typical zombie movies. It's not just a bunch of action and zombies getting, eating people and stuff. There is kind of a mystery here. Betrayal everywhere. Okay, betrayal everywhere, like in more ways than the obvious ways, and in some of the obvious ways there's not betrayal. Like you're going to think, oh, maybe this person is betraying these people, and he's not, or he or she is not, I should say, Yep. And then there's also, as Sam said earlier, there's that really good relationship arc between Scott Ward, the main character, but Dave Bautista, and his daughter Kate Ward. So that's basically the plot. And the whole plot kind of is, like I said, it wraps around that relationship arc and him trying to get back into his daughter's good graces and get her the money so she can take care of herself and take care of other stuff. Anything else that I missed there, Sam?
I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, but I kind of want to add that mystery thing you talked about is, in my opinion, probably one of the greatest kind of like slaps in the face you'll see in the whole movie. And when I saw it, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, because you never think in a zombie movie that I'm not going to reveal it, but this is the one thing you never think of in a zombie movie of what happened, what happens with like the zombie.
I get what you're. No. Actually, exactly. I do. I get with you, and I'm gonna tell you, for the people at home watching this, just if you're into zombie movies or mildly interested in movies like this. Excuse me. I'm messing up here. That mystery that we're talking about, that kind of little twist here on the genre, is actually worth it. If you're even mildly interested in zombie movies, I think it's pretty good.
And that kind of part, I figured it was like a normal zombie movie up until that point. I was like, whoa. And that kind of sunk me in even more.
Yeah.
And
just because the idea, like, okay, without spoilers, I just want to say, like, just the idea, like, just thinking about the idea, you're like, man, where they could go with this is they could go to a lot of places with this and do a bunch of different stuff, so.
And they can. They definitely can. And I also, like you said, like, the trail thing. Like, I feel like when Zack Snyder did this, he was like, oh, somebody already did this kind of trail thing here. Let's put it to where it looks like it's gonna happen. It doesn't really happen, and all of a sudden, this person over here on a side arc thing, and he cuts to it a couple times. This side arc here is where the betrayal will happen, and you never see it coming. And all of a sudden, the betrayal on top of betrayal on top of this guy goes and this person goes and slices underneath there, the figuratively, of course, and all that stuff. It's just basically just a mixed part of, like I said before, different kind of genre movies and a zombie movie, and it's amazingly. This is what I love about Zack Snyder films, is the fact that he can do this and make it beautiful and it's just amazing, it's watchable.
Right. No, exactly. I really do agree with everything you're saying there, buddy. So we're kind of getting into some things that I want to talk about in miscellaneous. So are you good moving on with miscellaneous?
I'm good if you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so I do want to say, well, first of all, do you have any big things from the movie that you want to talk about that are just kind of miscellaneous stuff?
I call miscellaneous, but it's been mentioned before, the money thing. There's always, like I said, there's always, and
An
where
idea
I
is
feel
awesome.
like they could
Yeah.
change a little bit, is there always got to be somebody, some millionaire that wants something from the place that you can cover. It's like,
Yeah.
There's always a guy, I got $20 million here, you can have X amount of money to get it for me, and this, of course, is not that. And I was like, that's typical of zombie movies. Somebody always wants something, or some kind of power. It's always got a weapon, or it's a power, or the money, the power, or something both.
Yeah.
That, and of course, I personally liked the relationship with the mother, the father-daughter combo. I like that. I've always liked that kind of stuff. If a father's trying to do right, do wrong in the back. But of course, again, that's also stereotypical of these kind of movies.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just saying they could always, change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You got anything?
Yeah. Actually, I do have a couple of things, and I do want to say, so the marketing for this movie kind of paints a picture for you that is not exactly what the movie is. So the marketing for me immediately made me think Left 4 Dead. Have you played the Left 4 Dead games?
I never have, but I've seen friends of mine play it, and I've seen literally little clips of it.
Okay, so in the marketing, the trailer is all basically a group of people. I think it's 7 of them or something, standing in a circle, shooting at zombies. Okay, taking out hordes of zombies. That is not what this movie is. This movie is not... there is very good action, and there is all that action and stuff, but there is a lot more to this movie, as we kind of said before, and it's to the credit of the movie that there is a lot more to this movie than just running through, killing zombies, fighting your way through hordes of zombies. And the action is really good. Dave Bautista does really good, even it's funny because even with the zombies, hand-to-hand combat, I never thought I would see a dude taking zombies out with his bare hands like Dave Bautista. I do want to say, kind of going into the movie, it's kind of like a con of the movie, something that I usually have a problem with, is that they do put some politics into here. It is peripheral. It is peripheral, so it's not bad. It's not super terrible. But they have this thing about a quarantine zone, and it kind of is touching on immigration and citizenship. They do it in a confusing way. It's in a little bit of a snippet where they just have it even has, and it's funny because it has Elizabeth Warren, and I'm not even going to get into the politics here, but it has Elizabeth Warren, who is a left-wing person. And then it has some other guy who he's probably opposite of her, so it's probably right-wing, and I don't know who he is. I just know Elizabeth Warren because of some infamous stuff about her that came out with the election, some of the election stuff and everything. Or not Elizabeth Warren. Oh man, why did I say Elizabeth Warren? It's not Elizabeth. It's Waters. Whatever. It has this woman. I'll put up a picture of her so you guys will know who it is. It is this woman, and she's talking about a particular thing, and they say oh well, if you treat people like this and you do this, and then pretty soon you have people coming up to you with a thermometer, a temperature gun to your head, and they're threatening to take your life away. And I thought, I was man, not really getting into the politics here, but it was kind of silly thinking about what this person actually represents in the real world with the pandemic and everything going on. And then in the movie, you're talking about, oh, well, you shouldn't treat people that way about being sick. And I'm like, come on now. Anyway, I thought that is in there a little bit, but actually it's done okay. It's only like maybe 30 seconds of the movie is taken up by that.
They just kind of like put a little sprinkle on it and they kind of go over it, but I still think that you go to a movie and you want to think about the real world, like the director's world.
Yeah, I think compared to other things, though, I will say that it's becoming really hard to get into movies where there's not, to see movies nowadays where there's not politics. This was done as tastefully as I've seen it, so I think it was okay. So in this movie, there are two different types of zombies. There are shamblers, which are your typical zombie, and they even hibernate. So there's some scenes where you see these zombies like not moving around, not like you can walk by them as long as you don't touch them and you're quiet. And then there's the alphas, which is what we were talking about when we said these are the faster, stronger, and they're the ones with the social structure. So that kind of plays a role. There is some variation in the zombies and some interesting thing going on with the zombies. There is kind of a interesting little line that I'm so disappointed that we didn't get to see manifest itself. But there's a line that one of the characters says, and so the character says like that the shambler zombies didn't get out of the sunlight because you see all their bodies and they're dead. So apparently shamblers are not able to stay out in the sunlight. But then this character says, when it rains, they all come back to life. And so I was like, man, why didn't we get a rain scene where someone is laying down or gets knocked down in the rain and then the zombies start coming at them?
Honestly, I think we were robbed of that scene. That would have been, even like a little, 30-second little montage thing of that. That would have been epic. I think that would have been amazing. Just demonstrate like how bad these kind of zombies are. Yeah. Honestly, I've never seen a movie that's zombie like that before. Usually, if they're dead, they're like dead.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've ever heard anybody say that. And I just kind of they actually would have portrayed that because it does rain occasionally in Vegas.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, and then I do want to say that there are. Okay, I have two words for you people. Okay, are you ready for this? Zombie tiger. All right, we've seen it in the trailers, and let me tell you something. If you thought that the Tiger King was dead, he rose again. And he whips out some tiger zombie justice. He really does. I'm going to tell you right now. It's apparently a tiger from Siegfried and Roy. They mentioned it in the movie. That's really good. I thought that was awesome. There also is this
epic scene was when that tiger, I'm not going to put it spoiler here, but the scene with the tiger and one of the members of the people wanting that happens, and I thought it was epic. It was epic.
It was like Darth Vader in Rogue One.
It really was. You see him for a while, you see him a little bit again, and all of a sudden, the next time you see him the third time, it's like he's in action. And I think the amazing thing about this big tiger is the fact of it's not just a normal kind of tiger. It's not the tiger. It's not. It just makes not much of like I'm spoiling it. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. It just behaves like a normal tiger would if it was a normal tiger.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And that was to me. That was just like one of the most epic. The whole movie. It's just awesome. How that I think it's because they had a training background in a sense, but
yeah.
I don't know even that say too much, but like the way that tiger was just epic. It's one of the best scenes.
Yeah, that was really good. So if you don't, so I don't want to get the video to be too long. So I think that we should get into kind of our closing statements here. Give me your closing statement. Oh, one thing before we give our closing statements, I do just want to say going into this movie, I mean, this is a zombie movie. So, I mean, there's going to be blood and gore. I wouldn't say that this was grotesquely bloody and gory. There is one scene with the tiger. The tiger does have some gore stuff with it. But aside from that, there is also some nudity in the beginning, but it's only in the beginning. But it is, I mean, it's it's nudity. Like you don't want your kids to see this kind of nudity. Okay, so I do just want to say that. Aside from that, give us your final statement, Sam, and your review score. Remember, we use, so here at Mike's After Action Reviews, we have bad, below average, average, above average, and excellent. So what's up, Sam? What do you say?
Well, my final statement for the movie is overall a very good movie, very well placed. I'm a big fan of Zack Snyder myself. Not my favorite director, but I'm one of my favorites. He's a very, the way his cinematography is always amazing, and I expected it to be as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a big fan of Dave Bautista, and I love the way he acts in this movie, and everything overall just kind of really meshed together. Saying that, I believe that it was not above average, but not an average, kind of in between that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like an average to an above average movie, because there's some parts that kind of took away from it.
Yeah.
To be an above average movie, and it just enough there to make it like not a below average movie. It's very watchable. You can watch several times over, and I think what really the saving grace of this movie, in my opinion, was the zombie structure, like you mentioned before. The zombie structure is what really kind of put the bread and butter on the way the zombie movie goes, instead of not being Dawn of the Dead movies or Resident Evil. Something of its own. It's like, this is have to be like, it's not didn't take a lot of different movies. It did, but it took like all the good parts of different movies,
made it its own. Yeah.
Little movie. And that's why I say it is average to above average.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off of kind of what you said, because I think that you and I are thinking kind of the same thing. I will say, so this movie was fun. I was talking to my wife, and she said that so my wife did not like this movie. This was not her type of movie, and I'm not saying that to discourage you, but I am saying that, I mean, if you're really not into zombie movies, I mean, this is not,
Not for you.
Not for you. If you don't like blood and gore and nudity, it has a little bit of nudity. If you don't like that kind of stuff, I mean, not for you. So you might say something different, but for people who are into kind of the action and the gore and the zombie style movies, even though action and zombie is like two different things. If you like zombie movies and you want a little bit of action, or you like action movies and you want some zombie in there, I would say that this is an above average movie. I was going to say, so I watched this with my wife, and she said, well, if you think that this is above average, like, what about that other movie that kind of had some similar issues that this movie had? And I said, well, the difference between this movie and that movie is that movie I wouldn't want to watch again. This movie is fun. If I walked into a room and you were watching it, I would sit and watch it with you, This movie is fun. It has character. It had the characters are developed in the ways that we talked about. You have those arcs that you follow throughout the movie. There's even some redemption arcs and stuff. Some of the things we didn't mention, because you can discover that for yourself by watching the movie. I will say that there are some plot holes. There are some major plot holes. Not major plot holes. There's a lot of plot holes. Small ones though, and they're kind of, some of them are kind of movieisms. Things that have to happen so that way the movie can progress. And some of them are just kind of like, they're not that big of a deal, so I'll let it go because I'm having fun. So I would still say that this is an above average movie, especially because of the production value and the actors and all that stuff coming together. And again, that interesting idea that we didn't spoil for you, so you got to find out what that interesting idea is. But that little twist, that interesting thing that they put in there with the zombies and how it all worked out, I would say, this is definitely an above-average movie. And I also want to announce, so above average. And I also want to announce, though, that this movie has an animated series. An animated series is being made for the movie. So the animated series is Army of the Dead Lost Vegas. It's an upcoming spin-off animated-style streaming television series. It's based on Army of the Dead. Excuse me. And it will premiere on Netflix. Now, I don't have a date for the premiere yet, but it is coming out on Netflix. And I think that they are, and that Netflix series is going to be about the war that took place before this movie. So I was actually really happy about that. And I think that it's probably going to explore some of the things that that stuff that we didn't tell you about it's going to explore in that series. So I'm really actually excited for the series. And as I said, I did enjoy this movie. What'd you say?
I said that does sound like a really good idea and a fun kind of idea, and it's connecting them back together.
Yeah, no, I think that they'll do a pretty good job, especially like I said, because there is some interesting things that they did with the zombies here to make them their own. But that is what we've got for you today, guys. Thank you for watching. And as always, God bless you and have a good day. Hey guys, the first thing I want to say in this outro is I do apologize for not setting up the desk in my studio, which is actually right behind me. That's what these guys are covering up. But just in the interest of getting these videos out in a timely manner, I opted to not set up the desk because I do have two other projects that I'm working on. One is the After Action review for Returnal, then I'm actually going to be doing an Rapid Action review for Returnal, and then I'm also actually going to be doing a Rapid Action review for the Netflix series Castlevania, which has just finished up its final season. So I do apologize for that. Please forgive me, guys. I'm just trying to get things done, like I said, in a timely manner. I'm very busy, and I also have a day job, so at least as of the time that I'm doing this video. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I am trying to progress in the way that I make these videos every single time that I make a new one. This is the first movie review in which we've done the clip up here, like we've done in the past with the Rapid Action reviews of video games. So I hope that you guys do enjoy that, and if you do, please leave me a comment so I know that it's something you like, and that and I will continue to do that in the future. Some of the videos that I'm going to do in the future, as far as some of the movies, if I see them in theaters, it's harder for me to get recordings of the movies in a legal way, and this was on Netflix, so I was able to record get the recordings of it and then use those in the video. So I hope that you guys really do enjoy that. We right now are working on getting Sam fixed up with some better audio and recording equipment, because we are aware that he is having issues with audio and video quality, but we are going to try to get that fixed. So just please hang on for that. We are not oblivious to those issues. But guys, if you like my videos and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, as I said, leave me some feedback, let me know what you like about the channel, what you think that I'm doing right, and things that you'd like to see me try to do in the future, or things that you'd like me to stop doing now. Also, excuse me, leave me a thumbs up. That always helps with the algorithm. Try as hard as you can to watch videos all the way through. The average view duration helps with the YouTube's algorithm, so that's a great way to support the channel. But the best way and the easiest way, I think, to support the channel is free for you and only takes a couple of seconds. Go down underneath my videos and hit that share button. I am a small content creator. I pay for advertising across multiple platforms, but no advertising that I pay for would ever be as good as you, my Action Pack members, and my viewers sharing my videos on social media and recommending them to your friends. You can also follow me on Facebook. Now, I put up stuff when I'm live streaming and about the videos I'm doing all the time on there. Instagram, I put up updates for the channel there as well. And follow the Discord. So the Discord, it's in the link for it is in the description below. I put up announcements. There's the Action Chat where you can talk to other subscribers. You can vote for Action Pack Mondays, which is Mondays I play online video games, multiplayer video games, so that way the Action Pack members can play with me and not just watch me play. You can also discuss what any upcoming projects and things like that. So Discord we're really getting into that, and that's pretty good. And then also in the description below, there's a link to a PayPal. Now, I'm not able to give out rewards right now for donations or anything like that, but as we grow, I'm going to be getting into that type of thing. So that is there. If you would like to donate and support the channel with monetarily, I definitely understand not wanting to do that because of, like I said, there's no reward for it right now, but that will be coming, and obviously any donation is very much appreciated and will be used to buy new equipment to improve the quality of the live streams and the video recording for the reviews. It'll also be used for advertising and any other perks and rewards that I can get for the members of the channel. But that is all I've got for you guys. As I said, very glad to have you guys supporting the channel. Love you guys, and God bless you all, and have a good day.